knowing and applying the language of human experience and emotion is a key property of all the major categories that support meaningful connection. That's how we ended up here, together sharing this book. When this emerged from the data, I thought, damn, I can't write a book on meaningful connection without including some kind of glossary or compendium of emotion and experience words. It was and remains weirdly shocking to me that access to and application of language are central to grounded confidence, central to walking alongside one another, and central to story stewardship. I wouldn't have been surprised to see language emerge as core to one of these, but the fact that it's central to all three speaks to its power. The near enemy of knowing and applying language is shaping emotion and experience to fit what we know. We take nuanced experiences like despair or hopelessness and force them into whatever language we have, maybe sadness or anger. But this leaves us far less capable of sharing what we're experiencing, getting help, or moving through our experiences productively. It's a near enemy because we may be talking about our feelings or sharing them, but we can't get to healing because we're limited by our language. The far enemy is acting out, shutting down, or giving up. No access to language means we're in pain, we feel alone, and we can't articulate what's happening. In the introduction, I gave an example of trying to tell a doctor about an excruciating pain in your shoulder while your mouth is taped and your hands are tied behind your back. The limits of not being able to explain result in an unbearable level of frustration. So, Atlas of the Heart. Look, while I experienced a lot of tough moments growing up, there were also countless gifts. It sometimes feels like it has to be one or the other, but as we learned in this work, both things can be true and are often true. One of the most valuable gifts in my life was from my mom. She taught us to never look away from pain. The lesson was really simple and very clear. Don't look away. Don't look down. Don't pretend not to see hurt. Look people in the eye, even when their pain is overwhelming. And when you're hurting and you're in pain, find the people who can look you in the eye. We need to know that we're not alone, especially when we're hurting. Even in my 50s, I find myself wrestling with the same question that left me confused as a kid. Why do we cause each other so much pain, and why do we turn away from hurt when the only way to the other side of struggle is through it? I don't know why it's so hard to understand. I've been known to run from vulnerability like someone's chasing me. Granted, not so much anymore, but it just takes so much more energy and creates so much more emotional churn than having a seat and asking hurt or uncertainty to pull up a chair. Doing this research and writing this book has taught me that our emotions and experiences are layers of biology, biography, behavior, and backstory. Every single day, our feelings and experiences show up in our bodies. They're shaped by where we come from and how we were raised. They drive how we show up, and each feeling has its own backstory. Understanding these emotions and experiences is our life's work. The more we learn, the deeper we can continue to explore. I've also learned something that has changed how I move through my life on a daily basis. Our connection with others can only be as deep as our connection with ourselves. If I don't know and understand who I am and what I need, want, and believe, I can't share myself with you. I need to be connected to myself in my own body and learning what makes me work. This is how I start to develop the grounded confidence I need to move through the world and cultivate meaningful connection with others. I think before this work, I didn't give enough importance to spending time and energy connecting to myself. I made that optional if I had anything left after connecting with others. That was not working, and now I know why. In this life, we will know and bear witness to incredible sorrow, anguish, we'll experience breathless love and joy. There will be boring days and exciting moments, low-grade disappointment and seething anger, wonder and confusion. The wild and ever-changing nature of emotions and experience leaves our hearts stretch-marked and strong, worn and willing. My hope is that we find that solid ground within us, that shore that offers safe harbor when we're feeling untethered and adrift. The more confident we are about being able to navigate to that place, the more daring, our adventures and the more connected we are to ourselves and to each other. The real gift of learning language, practicing this work, and cultivating meaningful connection is being able to go anywhere without the fear of getting lost. Even when we have no idea where we are or where we're going, with the right map, we can find our way back to our heart and to our truest self.